when it comes to being as straight as possible, there's many things that we want to factor in. The one that we usually pay too much attention to is, as we said before in class, the posterior, the pelvic tilts, the ribs being sucked in. And really, if your shoulders are not fully open in the first place, this is not going to end up well, right? Every time we do this, we end up planching.
So let's zoom on what planching is. In a normal straight handstand, the pelvis is sitting over the shoulders thanks to your shoulder flexion. That's what we call open shoulders. Should you close that shoulder angle, the angle between your arm and your torso, you start planching. Your pelvis and your feet are moving before vertical. That angle is closing. And the more you close, the more pronounced that shape becomes. If your legs were overhead, that would lead into a banana. If the legs stay before vertical, this is what we call a planche. Now, of course, you can tell that in this shape, things are much harder because you have to fight for it with more strength.
From there, things are much more complicated because your pelvis and your legs drag you towards the floor. And it's very hard to correct that unless you're strong enough to hold the planche in the first place. So today I would like us to explore the different layers of what a straight handstand is. First and foremost, as usual, shoulders have to be nice and open, and then you have to keep them there, and that's the hard thing, right? In the past, we would have gone, and we're going to do it again today, chest to the wall. I would have asked you to go super open, and then I would have asked you to articulate your pelvis like that, and we would have realized that when we do this, we tend to close the shoulder angle. And if this happens as you try to be straighter, the same problem I was just talking about is going to happen again. Yeah? So we're going to talk about the shoulders, about the pelvis, and maybe the ribs. And I just want the order in which you want to think of things to make sense. So that you can kick up in a handstand that's more and more open, embrace the fact that it won't be fully straight just yet. Stabilize it first, and then make it better, one item at a time, which is first, shoulders have to be probably open a bit more, like what you were doing here. In your freestanding handstands, even those that look open, you will stay here. You're going to be, because you're stronger, stabilize it first there, open second, and then pelvis, ribs. And that's the order we want to keep in mind for today. Step one, I stabilize at all costs because consistency beats alignment. Step two, I'm still there after X seconds, I open. Step three, pelvis. Step four, ribs. And each new step cannot come at the expense of the one that precedes it. So all this to say, you're going to go chest to the wall. And you're just going to bring your attention on your shoulders for now. What I want to see is you trying to do something that resembles what you were just doing with the stick. So you're going to go chest to the wall, pretty close to the wall. We're going to try to find lightness on our feet, which is the sign that you have a functional alignment. And you want to find something that's comfortable. Hold it there for 5 seconds, and then open a bit more by either or and bringing your shoulder blades together, exaggerating the shoulder flexion towards the wall, and elevating, so trying to touch the ceiling with your feet. And you hold that second position, which is marginally more open, 5 more seconds. Okay? And then you can relax into the first position or come back down and start again.